Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim.
You know, I've watched you sometimes.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakeel. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? And yet though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup runneth over. And surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. And I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever and ever. Amen. Assalamu alaikum. It's Wednesday. Welcome to Johnny's Bite. I thank you for staying with Sunrise here on 3FM 92.7. It is raining, so you want to be careful out there. And also find some protective clothing. If you don't have enough fuel in your vehicle or your motorcycle or whatever it is, you need to start getting some today, because tomorrow fuel prices will go up. Well, you didn't know, I'm telling you. Yes, fuel prices will go up tomorrow. So just information for you. And I hope that it won't affect our transport fares going forward and all of those things. But I want to maybe have a final bite on all of what is happening about the whole talk about the preservation of culture and tradition. I have seen a lot of people of dissent suggest suddenly that those who disagree with what has gone on and who are asking that, is this how we want to be represented in terms of a brand as people, are suddenly now being told that, oh, if it happened in other tribes, we will see them united, they'll be defending things, but we are defending and trying to destroy what is supposed to be our culture, pride, and heritage. I get sad when I hear some of those narratives, because you know what? There is a saying in Ga that Ga segbe jigbe. Ake Ga segbe jigbe. Which means that the path that the Gans take is the only path. Ga segbe jigbe. And that if you follow the Ga people, you will never get it wrong. Ga segbe jigbe. No ma wiega. Ga segbe jigbe sanino anye wo hie nefi wo kande. Enoni ya no. Eja ke shita flache ke onye egbo. No ke onye ewo. Ke jena ni mofia mote enya wongo. Oba na lele akeshi onye egbo. No wo otrumu femo kutumpo ke osato ni femo sani wokpa do bahani gaya no eje blomo sani, because cannot ni here eja keke ni hi ke hi we. And I asked a simple question. As Gans, we have a culture and we have a tradition. One of the biggest things in the history and culture and tradition of the Ga people is the Homowo festival. The festival that is celebrated once a year only. Hooting at Hanga. It's a big, big, big thing. It marks the end of the year. In that celebration, we are told that after the migration, there was hunger. The people planted maize or corn. The people had palm oil. The people harvested salt from the sea. And then the people had okra. For those who don't know, Kpokpoe has okra. And they used that to prepare Kpokpoe. And then they said, oh, how we got the palm oil, we can also use the palm fruits to make palm soup, because those were things that they harvested from what they had planted. And then they said, oh, how do we get protein? There is fish in the sea. So we harvest the salt from the sea. We harvest the fish from the sea. Bomi Teojugba, listen to me. And then we use it to prepare the meal. So the most expensive fishes you can find, chile, opoku, oda, shoing, we use those ones to prepare the Homowo soup. At what point in our lives did the preservation of culture and tradition tend to adding chinanani, ke chinalo in the mix of the homowo soup. Those who are screaming on top of their voices that we are preserving culture, we are preserving tradition. There's a reason behind having fish, just fish, in the homowo soup. At what point the chinalo and kotoje, I'm not talking about kotonani, I'm talking about kotoje, and you know, at what point did it become part of the soup mix for homowo soup? Did we harvest the cow from the sea as well? That is the hypocrisy that I'm talking about. So we are screaming, we want to preserve culture. We want to preserve culture. Maybe both chinalo, chinanani, ebafe, mini ebafe, mini ekoye homowo wonu. Chanyamanya bane ke oye mon laje. No na ne ke gbe no ko ba yue akọ oye mon laje. No ba ya mraloje no oya no am oya nye no vin akeshi sanachon wie mo no tashi na ko wie mo ya akente aklo shipon akwa onunyame eneji no ba pele he akeshi no jo onunyam sanye denche. Let me get on to some more interesting matters. You know our friend Dr. Aligebam. Please put his picture up there for me. The man at ICO. And recently I heard his boss, or the man who's supposed to be his boss, the Honorable Stephen Yakubu, regional minister, talking about the Pualugu multipurpose dam. And we were told it was a big campaign thing, multipurpose, blah, blah, blah. This is Dr. Benedict Bonaventure Aligebam. And somebody told me he likes the name too much. He is a retiree who has refused to go. But I'll give you a trajectory of what's going to happen. Find me the letter that the human resource manager wrote at ICO and told Dr. Aligebam that, look, sir, it's time for you to go on retirement. So please gather your bags and go. Now, this is dated 19 January 2024. It says, dear sir, compulsory retirement notice. We write regarding the aforementioned subject, which takes effect retrospectively from the 7th of December 2023. As per available records, you reach the age of 60 on the specified date, meeting the criteria for permanent retirement from active service in accordance with both the company's policy and Ghanaian law. We acknowledge your commitment and service to ICO Limited and extend our heartfelt appreciation. Your efforts have significantly contributed to the success and advancement of ICO. Please ensure the return of all company-owned properties currently in your possession before proceeding. As you step into this new phase of your life, we send you our best wishes for good health, happiness, and success in your future endeavors. Signed, Agatha Kurugu, Human Resource and Administrative Manager, Farmer Services Manager, Business Development Service Manager. This was internal and written to Doctor as a mark of respect. Then there is one where he had written and asked for an extension, right? That Mr. Brian Echampo, the regional minister, had said that, no, we can't give you the contract extension. It's from the Minister of Agric. This is also dated the 2nd of February, 2024. Recommendation and extension of retirement, 7 December 2023. Dr. Benedict Bonaventure Aligebam. We acknowledge your letter number so-and-so dated 30th June 2023 on the above subject matter. Unfortunately, we are unable to grant the board's request for a 2-year post-retirement extension for the MD's contract. 3, on the strength of the above, and to ensure seamless transition, a 3-month post-retirement contract, which is even contrary to what the president had directed and parliament had been told about, is being granted Dr. Benedict Bonaventure Aligebam with effect from 7 December 2023. So that would have expired 3 months after that, while steps are taken to look for a suitable replacement as of the 7th of March 2024. You are respectfully, therefore, being requested to convey the decision to Dr. Benedict Bonaventure Aligebam accordingly. Please accept assurances of my highest consideration. Brian Echampon is the Minister for Agric. the supervising minister for ICO. And this is to the board chairman who had gone together with the board to go and ask for that needless contract extension on behalf of Dr. Aligebam. And it has become the norm that boards these days, they go asking for what we have been told is not possible. And some of them get it granted. If it were not so, how did a 63-year-old man get sacked for him to be replaced by a 61-year-old woman? It is only in Ghana. It's a sure banker. So go and stick it, 63, 61, or 61, 63. Go and stick it. You may win. Now, it is also copied to the Upper East Regional Minister, the Coordinating Council, Bogatanga. Now, this is what the board said. The board, on the 20th of March, not so long ago, they said, recommendation and extension of retirement, Dr. Benedict Bonaventure Aligebam. I make reference to the MOFA letter with reference number so and so of 2nd February 2024 on the above subject matter, copy attached for ease of reference, what I just read for you. And write to inform you that your request for a 2-year post-retirement contract could not be granted. 2, you are being informed that the 3-month post-retirement contract, which took effect from 7 December 2023, expired on the 7th of March 2024. You are hereby directed to hand over your duties and responsibilities as the manager, director of the immigration company of Upper Region to the next senior management officer, while steps are being taken for a replacement. Signed, Honorable Stephen Yakubu, regional manager, board chairman. He led Dr. Aligebam. Now he is writing. So note that two ministers, a Greek minister, Brian Echampo, come to me. A Greek minister, Brian Echampo, had written, supervising minister for the whole sector. And then Stephen Yakubu, supervising minister and coordinating, head of the coordinating unit and regional coordinating council for the whole region that manages ICO. He has also written. And this was copied to the outgoing. See how they put that thing? They title him Dr. Benedict Bonaventure Aligebam, outgoing MD ICO Navrongo. So they acknowledge that he's going. But you know what is interesting? There's a video. Dr. Aligebam had a meeting with the union staff. In fact, they had sanctioned and summoned one person to appear before them. The person felt threatened, so he said he won't go alone. He went with the union executives. Subsequently, the union executives were written to in a bid to want to suspend them. This is the retiree. He wants to suspend the people. The effrontery, the arrogance, the disrespect, the abuse of authority. We were promised that we were going to get excellent governance. Excellent governance. He writes. Now, he sits in this meeting, and he said in this meeting, you remember I played this for you, played. He said in this meeting that even the minister of Agric cannot question him.
Johnny's bite.
Because the minister of Agric, no, put it up there. Just put the video up there. The minister of Agric cannot question him because the minister for Agric is not the one who appointed him. This gentleman, he is supposed to be on retirement. And listen to his confrontations with the people. Listen to just 1 minute of it.
The gentleman feels threatened. He feels threatened. He feels threatened. There should be. No, he said so.
Hold on. That's why
he said so.
He's not feeling here. He can talk for himself. Adams, stop using words you cannot substantiate.
He said it. You heard it from him. It is not anybody's words.
If he feels threatened,
yes,
let him sit here alone and say it.
Why do you want him alone?
What's not invited? What's not invited?
Management invited me for this meeting, and I felt I'm not.
Johnny's bite. Johnny's bite.
I invited the union to accompany me.
Yes. They're not safe. Coming here.
Yes.
Good.
Alone.
Alone.
Yes.
Now you're communicating this to us. Once you're not safe in the premises of ICO, management will take a decision.
No,
he didn't say
that.
ICO, don't misquote him.
He didn't say so.
This management meeting.
Augustine.
Yes.
You're not my colleague.
No, I'm not your colleague. But the truth is that let's even raise this issue. Now that you are saying that he should have come alone. The fact is that the documents we have, you are not even supposed to be in this meeting. You are on retirement. You are on retirement.
Yes.
Okay.
That is the fact.
Okay.
Yes.
You are my employer.
I'm not an employee, but your employer has given you a letter that you should be on retirement.
Can you produce that letter here?
Oh, I have that letter here.
Produce it.
I will produce it like the way you have refused to produce the one they have given you the contract extension. I'm not going to produce
I
it.
refuse to produce to who? To who?
Whosoever you are supposed to produce to.
To who?
I don't know.
Oh, your employment letter was delivered to the office. It was delivered to ICO.
Document.
That one is not delivered to
came.
ICO.
You know what?
Yes.
You have no capacity. You are not in any position to question my status in this.
ICO has capacity.
So this is the posture and nature of the person we are talking about. A senior citizen who is not showing example for the younger citizens to follow. So this was after the minister, Brian Champon, a Greek minister, had written to him, and he has said that he is powerless. He can't do FOCO. Then Stephen Yakubu writes and says, this is what we have gotten from the Ministry of Agric, our supervising ministry. So please go home. He said, you can't do FOCO. He then summons a meeting that he's not supposed to be part of. But you know the interesting thing? Under his watch, show me some of the facilities of ICO quickly, under his watch. Those buildings that look like horror movies, right? The buildings that look like horror movies, under his watch, how they have become. These were things that were built. And you know, ICO plays a very important role in the agricultural sector. We're talking about the Polugu multipurpose dam, which is a good thing if we have it up and running. This is not a ghost town. This is a facility that ICO uses. Just show them. Just be showing them. Get the guest house and everything is bazaar under his watch. Bazaar. And he still wants to stay in power. But you know the interesting thing? He wrote a letter to the Dr. Bonaventure Benedict Aligebam. He wrote a letter to the former MD when it was time for the man to go home. And I respect that man so much that the man did not spend a day after his retirement. In fact, the records will show that the man went on a pre-retirement contract or retirement, leave prior to retirement and never returned. Show me that letter. MD writes to former MD. You see the same letter that was written to
Johnny's Bite.
Domelevo, right? A former Auditor General, with his date of birth and everything. You will see it. Expand the letter for me so the Ghanaians can see it well. This was dated, the 20th of January 2022. And listen to it, whoever. The same man who is refusing to go home wrote this in 2022. Bite. He wrote it to Mr. Sebastian K. Bagina, ICO Limited, P.O. Box 70, Tono, Navrongo. He says, dear sir, compulsory retirement. The same thing that the HR wrote that he said, we mintiasiano, in Nushishi. He said, we wish to notify you that by our records, you were born on 31st May 1962. He's quoting somebody's date of birth, which means you will attain the compulsory retirement age of 60 years on 31st May 2022. You are therefore to hold yourself in readiness to proceed on retirement with effect from 31st May 2022. You are also to proceed on any outstanding leave within the last 2 years prior to your retirement. He even told the man to start his leave 2 years ahead so that he won't have any excuse. As we speak, Bonaventure Aligebam, he has no leave outstanding. Minister for Agric has told him, go home. He said, I won't go. Stephen Yakubu, his friend who he uses to lobby, has told him, go home. He said, I won't go. HR of ICO has told him, go home. He said, I won't go. But he wrote here, he said, you may also proceed on any outstanding leave within the last 2 years prior to your retirement. We count on your usual cooperation. Thanks, yours faithfully, Honorable, he even has honorable, dishonorable character adding honorable to his name. Honorable Dr. Bonaventure Benedict Aligebam, Managing Director. He gives it to the HR and admin, scheme manager, and the rest. This is what he puts up there. He writes this, and Mr. Sebastian K. Bagina did not spend a day in office. He has become like apostle. He doesn't want to jam. But the question you ask is, why is he interested in staying there? Come to me. You know, I told you that the harvest season has begun. As of the time I started talking about it. So there's money that is coming in, like President Kufuor said, wah. So he was getting to spend because his salary has stopped coming in from the state. So how is he surviving? Is he feeding fat on the IGF of ICO? That's one. Number two, he is still signing checks. This our friend, put his picture up there. That's the final thing. Dr. Benedict Aligebam. He's still signing checks on retirement, threatening people. And I ask, on whose authority is he signing the checks? And the board, do they know, the board led by Stephen Yakubu, do they know that Aligebam is signing checks? And who gave him the authority to be signing the checks? And who is spending and checking the spending at ICO? Is there really order? Is there a board? Are they worth the allowances they give them? Or they are just there in name? Madam Chief of Staff, good morning to you. I've been on this matter for more than 3 months. I've not heard a cough from you. Your ministers have given directives. You are supposed to be the supervisor of all ministers. I've not heard a cough from you. This is an irresponsible behavior happening under your watch. Madam, Auntie, I've not heard a cough from you. And you know what this does? This gives us the impression, what Ghanaians say, that the country is currently on autopilot. Because how can one man grandstand the minister for Agric, grandstand the minister for the whole region, grandstand the board, grandstand the union, grandstand the whole institution? One man who wrote to somebody to prepare 2 years ahead to go on retirement and take all the leave that the man has. And the man did, not a single day after. He has stayed on, even has gone to Parliament, right, the Public Accounts Committee, and that question came up. He's still there signing checks, spending IGF, feeding fat on what is not supposed to be feeding fat. Is that what we mean when we say causing financial loss to the state? Is that how to protect the public purse? You dip your hand into the public purse anyhow? Is that how to do things? Is that how? Well, we'll leave it here. But a very last video for Johnnie's you. Fight. Just the video. You see the ladies and gentlemen who are training? Just play that last video. I told you some time ago that Anchorford prisons, they were training people, right? For 2 weeks. When I spoke about it, the passing out ceremony did not happen. But before then, they seized their phones. But those people have come into the system. They have brought another set. They are training at the Anchorford prisons. Some of them are wearing full shoe. You find a lady, when you get to where the full shoe is, you pause for me. There's somebody wearing full shoe, black full shoe. You go, it's a lady. So you let the gentleman go. You see the lady wearing black full shoe. Anybody who, I am a national officer of the National Cadet Corps. Anybody who knows how these regimental institutions move and the lady's full shoe has come to pass. That's the full shoe. You see the full shoe? Ladies and gentlemen of the Republic, full shoe. Full shoe at prisons training school. Some are wearing white and black. Some are wearing what they want. Full shoe, prisons training school. Is this the quality that we were promised? The nation is breaking down and everybody is watching. Hey, yo, have a good morning.